I would like to call the Monday, June 24th meeting of the Blue Springs Planning Commission to order. If I could ask everyone to please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening, as well as those watching from home. We've got a short agenda tonight. First item will be the consent agenda. Next item will be a public hearing for a conditional use permit for CarStar. Then we'll have other business and adjournment. So with that, I would entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item will be the public hearing. Before I get into that, I will just run through the procedures real quick. I will open the public hearing. I will call for exhibits from our city attorney. We will have comments from staff. The applicant will give an opportunity to make their presentation. I'll ask for witnesses in favor, then witnesses opposed. Then I'll have questions and general discussion among the commissioners, and then I will close the public hearing and we will consider it for a vote. So with that, I will open the public hearing for conditional use permit CUP 05196963 CarStar and ask the city attorney for our exhibits.
I offer the following exhibits into the record. Exhibit 1, staff report with attachments. 2, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on June 8, 2019. 3, application with attachments. 4, 185-foot notification map. 5, names and addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site. 6, copy of the letter sent to said property owners. 7, Title IV Land Use Section Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference. And 8, 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jury.
Thank you, Chairman Graham. Before you today is the request on behalf of Hobbick Investment. Mike Hobbick is requesting to approve a conditional use permit to allow the vehicle repair general use or auto body repair use on property addressed at 3700 Southwest westbound US 40 Highway, which is on the south side of the westbound 40 Highway, about 500 feet west of Burris Road. This property is about half an acre, one property. Currently there is a vacant existing building on the property, as you can see here in this aerial photo. The applicant is requesting to allow the vehicle repair general use. They intend to use this existing building on property to perform auto body and frame repair. They'll then move the cars to their 2 existing buildings to the south, 3701 and 3705 westbound or eastbound 40 Highway, to finish the painting of those cars. These are all 3 separate buildings on 3 separate lots. The 2 south buildings are grandfathered in as they were previously Corvette Specialist, and so their use is allowed in those 2 buildings to the south. So the only one that we are looking at today is the vacant building, 3700 westbound 40 Highway. The applicant does propose to modify the existing building with the addition of 2 garage doors. So there will be a total of 3 garage doors on the east facade of that existing building. Through the conditional use process or permit process, the Planning Commission does need to review the appropriateness of this use in this location. And if there are some special use standards in the UDC, one of them being that the vehicle storage yards and vehicle repair storage areas and parking areas have to be surfaced with a hard surface, dust-free surface, at least 5 inches of concrete or 6 inches of asphalt, or a combination of asphalt and aggregate base and subgrade. The applicant did previously install asphalt on the acceptable subgrade and aggregate base when their tenant on the building to the west, Acid Auto actually went through this conditional use permit process as well. There is existing hard surface on the what was previously gravel now, and so we do appreciate the complying with that requirement there. Another special use standard for vehicle repair general is that the car washes and vehicle repair doors shall not face residential use. No residential property is adjacent to this building, so that does not necessarily apply in this instance. Beyond that, some of the general development standards apply, such as parking and landscaping and screening. The parking shall be striped. The actual requirement for this use is that the business has to provide 8 parking spaces. It has not been striped as of last week, so before the CarStar can move in, they should stripe those 8 required spaces. As far as landscaping, the existing buffer along the north side of the property, there's quite a few trees, as you can see here. And the applicant went out and counted those, and according to our existing tree calculations and how much existing trees are worth, they have provided almost 4 times the number of landscaping is required through that existing tree buffer. So landscaping has been met. Screening, if there are any future equipment or exterior equipment or dumpsters, those shall meet the screening requirements, being 100% screened from view, public view. And then the building design, if there are any alterations to the exterior of the building, those have to go through the building permit process, such as those garage doors that we mentioned previously. Beyond that, staff does recommend approval of the conditional use permit request with 4 conditions, and I'll stand for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Jury? All right, seeing none, thank you. Would the applicant like to come forward, and you'll need to be sworn in and state your name and your address.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And then I'll need your name and address for the record.
Mike Havoc, 6420 Larson Court, Kansas City, Missouri.
Thank you.
And do you have any questions? he pretty much covered it all. I guess the one thing I need to say is as far as any cars that would be on that property, would we store those cars over on the property to the west where Acid Auto is? I'm sharing that there's an extra parking lot there, and that is all fenced, and that has all been screened. And we've been using that so far, and we plan on continuing using that. And same thing with a dumpster, that's all being used over on that other side also, so we won't need any addition in that area there.
Okay. Any questions? for
Any
Ms.
questions?
All right, well, thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? All right, I'll bring it up here. Any questions, comments on the record from the commissioners? All right, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing, and I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for CarStar CUP 05-19-6963 with the 4 conditions.
I have a motion from Commissioner Banks. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Commissioner Veal. All those in favor say, oh, I'm sorry, this is a roll call vote.
Yep. Planning Commissioner Casey?
Aye.
Commissioner Cradoff?
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry?
Aye.
Commissioner Hose?
Aye.
Commissioner Banks?
Aye.
Commissioner Veal?
Aye.
Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Chairman
Aye.
Graham. Sorry about that.
As a habit.
You get in the habit of who's sitting in this chair.
Absolutely. Okay, that motion.
Motion carries, so there you go, you got it. You're welcome. That brings us to other business. I would just like to recognize in the audience tonight, we have Jonathan Carter with Troop 692. He is working on his communication badge, so I just wanted to recognize him being here tonight with us.
Very good to go.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
the Board of Adjustment met and they approved a variance for the Reed Barn and a variance for Jacomo Heights, a garage add-on.
Super,
Thank you.
thank you. Any other business? Mr. Cole?
The only other business is simply a reminder that we will meet again on Monday, July 8th at 6:30, right here in the same place.
Okay, we have agenda items.
I believe we'll have a couple items on that agenda, yes.
Perfect. Anything else? Commissioner Phillips, anything going on downtown we need to know about?
Just happened last weekend. We had Corks and Canvas, had a nice turnout,
Super.
had the weather cooperated.
It did. All right. Seeing no other business, I would move or entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.